Well, hello guys. It's been a minute since I have posted anything. As you can see, I'm back home again. I've actually been home now about 3 weeks or so, and I just sort of was transitioning, back into my normal everyday life, and just didn't feel like editing and going through all that massive amount of footage. I still have to do that. But I thought, okay, I better get on the horse again and get going with this because I have so much footage to share with you guys. So yeah, it's fun to actually look through some of the footage again and relive some of these happy memories that I have from the trip. I'm sort of amazed just looking at a few videos, how happy I looked, how thin I looked. It's like, just in 3 weeks, I feel like I've already put on weight and I don't look as happy and young and healthy. And yeah, it's apparent to me that, that's my happy place, is being on the road and seeing new places and doing all that. You're so active, it's like 3 weeks I've been home here. And although it's so great to be home and all the nice conveniences, it's a lot of sitting around, a lot more, and it's just not great for my health. I try to get out and walk every day, but you're still spending a lot more of the day sitting around. So, when I was in my rig on the road, it was constant movement, getting up and down and up and walking up and down the stairs and setting up camp and breaking down camp, and just a lot more physical exercise. So I think I was just looking so much healthier there. So it's interesting to see that. Yeah, so I wish I could go out full time because I absolutely loved this trip. It was wonderful. But I'll be talking about it in future videos, but you'll see some of my reasoning that I don't think it's in the cards for me at this point unless I can sort of figure out some issues that came up for me that I'll be sharing in later videos. But yeah, I loved it so much. But yeah, I'm not sure if any more of these long trips are in the cards for me, so it's a little bittersweet too to watch these videos because I'm not sure I can manage to do a big trip like that again. We shall see. We shall see. I'm never going to say never. So, but anyways, I wanted to get back on it and the horse and start doing the videos again. So this video I'm about to share with you was filmed at the very end of August, beginning of September. So gosh, going on over 6 weeks ago. So I'm quite behind now, but that's okay. I'll be trying to share videos a little more frequently if I can manage it. All right, here you go. I hope you enjoy it. Did an overlook stop called Goat Lick, and there's more information about these wonderful animals, the mountain goat, and they're adapted. The display says they're adapted to cliffs and colds, and they're the best climbers in the park, and the steep mountain cliffs can keep them as well as their babies, which are called kids, relatively safe from predators. I'm at the overlook now. They have warm and woolly fur coats, and it helps them to endure the freezing high altitude temperatures in the winters of Glacier. They are herbivores, and so in order to meet their nutrient needs, they have to come to mineral seeps like this one found at a lower, hotter elevation. But street heat can be stressful on them, so if they get too hot, then they try to sprawl out on some snow patches when they can to cool off. So they'll move between the mineral seeps like this one, alpine cliffs, and snow patches. So they tend to come here in the late spring, early summer to get the sodium and minerals. And so that I haven't spotted any right now because it is late summer. So I don't think there are any here right now. But this is where they'd be able to get salt and minerals, because when they're eating just a lot of grass, they're not getting enough minerals. It's really steep here, and it's amazing to think that mountain goats can navigate such steep hillsides like this. It's just amazing to me what great climbers they are. Look at his black tongue. It says that they'll travel great lengths, depleting their energy reserves and risking predation to acquire these desired minerals. Males typically travel to the mineral licks earlier in the spring, while the females appear in early June after their young are born. Very lush green path. Really pretty. Just after the rain from this morning, everything smells, you know, damp and dewy. So pretty. I am outside of the Glacier Park Lodge, and it was built in something like 1913 and opened in 1913. And the outside is made out of cedar to withstand the weather, and the inside is made of Douglas fir. So I'm gonna go walk inside, check it out. I'm over in East Glacier now. And there's this puppy dog just sleeping. Nice garden area. Nice plantings. This was the starting and end point for tours. Back when it opened, and I think the Red Bus tours go from here as well. It's a very nice lodge, huge. Let's go see the inside.
Last I checked, and it's been outside the last few days, actually. Last 3 days. So tonight should be easy. Just cows can come in through. The group is.
Wow. Wow. This very tall ceiling. These are all made out of Douglas fir. That is amazing.
Yeah, I think since it's slow and nobody's requesting, we can try and keep it that way. Or your days didn't change. But Jamie's did. Yeah. Is this the way to close? What's going on? Try to spread it out, make sure everyone has an equal amount of everything. But yeah.
Rocky Mountain goat.
Yeah, she's doing an interview.
It really feels like a tree. It's the real thing. I'm visiting this beautiful flower garden in front of the hotel. It's really pretty. These flowers are doing very well here. Those are cornflowers. It's probably one of my favorite colors, is cornflower blue. So pretty. It's like in between a blue and a purple. It's mixed with pinks and purples. These are all my colors I love. I just learned that these are black-eyed Susans. I've seen them off the side of the road, I think. But those are a beautiful flower. This is a flower called Indian Blanket. We are very close to Blackfeet Nation. In fact, I'm wondering if the hotel is now owned by Blackfeet Nation. I don't know. Don't know if they allow you to go inside of the teepee. I don't see why not. I've been here 2 nights now at the RV park over on the east side of Glacier National Park. Yesterday it was pretty rainy all day, so I just stayed in and relaxed and edited videos and got some things done, did some banking. So it was really nice to just relax and listen to the rain on top of my rig. And took a shower in the afternoon because I have water here. And today is supposed to be a high of 76 degrees, so it's going to be just perfect. I am going to take a boat tour. I'm going up to the Two Medicine area, which I don't think is the official part of Glacier National Park. I think it's part of the Blackfeet Nation. So I think I'm going to get to learn about that culture more. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to take a boat ride, and so I'll share that with you. And so I'm only here one more night, and then I continue on my journey. Gosh, today is exactly 1 month into my trip. Can't believe it. I've only got about 3 weeks more to go, and I'm absolutely loving this and having a great time. This spot it's great, but it's very unlevel, and I was, even though the owner here tried to help me, I still, even with every block I own, could not get my front end level. So, it was showing low in the front. So I'm a little worried about that. And my refrigerator, it's kind of weird because when you use your bubble leveler, if I use it in the fridge, it tells me one thing. And then if you use it in the middle of the rig on the floor, it tells me another. So if I used it in the middle of the floor, it was telling me that it was okay. But if I used it in the fridge, it was telling me it was too low. Of course, the fridge is closer to the front of the vehicle, so that could be why. But hopefully it's okay. I'm going to have to break camp here this morning and drive over to the Two Medicine area. And have to re-level when I get back, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but gotta do what you gotta do. By the way, I was able to edit my videos and upload it pretty quickly here, because at this site they have free Wi-Fi internet. It's fast, so that is really handy to have, because this last week in Glacier National Park, I've had very spotty service. For the most part, none. So really difficult to edit and then upload and all that, when you don't have service. And I could set up the Starlink, but it costs me money every time I do that, because I'm paying by the gigabyte at this point. So I don't want to do that. Breakfast this morning is avocado toast with an egg on top, and more avocado and some cut up peaches. There is a little fox walking along the road here. Look at him. He's so cute. Aww. He's so cute. Just made it in like a time to the boat. I did not allow for parking.
Hi, how's it going? There's also life preservers underneath your seats, except for right here in the front, you've got some cleaning supplies and binders, so you can hang on really tight to those.
As we head down the lake today, we'll talk a little bit about park's history, a little bit about geology, a little bit about wildlife. And of course, if you have questions at any time, feel free. You just have to repeat after me. You just say, not to. Make sure you look in places where there's a wide variety for them to eat. And while you're looking over there, if you get a good by the Pleistocene glaciers between 3 million and 12,000 years ago. So using that name, that just always would have been appropriate. Found as Glacier, that could have worked. Funny little symbol. Give you a little. He woke up, they called him Mokuia Puat, or Rising Wolf, and that's the mountain we have today. If we go to the left of Rising Wolf, we've got a mountain in the back of the valley. This is where Helen was. It kind of got lost in time, but there was a ranger here early in the park's history his name was Joe Cosley. And Blackfeet, it's Nita Awaka, Awakasia, which is a walker. And Lone Walker was chief of all the Amskapi Pikani, or the southernmost Blackfeet, and he was the chief of the Small Roads Band and the person responsible for adopting Human Row into his family. And it is kind of a family affair here, because dominating center stage here in the Two Medicine Valley is his daughter. This mountain is Sinapa. Now, if this were Pat Hagen National Park, I would change. Now, when you say Sinapa, it does mean fox, sometimes kid fox. But if you're a woman in Blackfeet society, your name is not Fox. It's Fox Woman. If you are a trees, we see the summit of Grizzly. Grizzly retains its company origins because it's shaped an awful lot like the harp.
Jackson. We drove here about an hour here? No, it took us.
To music and funny. But there's one more tree, and I'm hoping we'll find hair in that. But
Okay.
I can't believe I can't even find one. All right, well, we'll just continue.
So he was just talking to us about how the bears mark territory by rubbing on trees, and sometimes they leave behind fur. And so he was looking to see if there was any fur on the tree. Beautiful trail, very forested, so lush. It's gorgeous. It's a little bit muddy after the rain yesterday, but not bad. It's really fun to have this be ranger led. It just enriches the experience for sure. See, there's some little puddles. He made a funny comment where he said, if we surprise a bear on the trail, stay calm and then form a tight circle around me.
Eat huckleberries. You're going to hear about huckleberry pies and huckleberry this and huckleberry that. When you try them by the handful, you'll realize nothing compares. But how about medicine? Oh, another thing you could do with this is make pemmican, and pemmican is kind of a meat berry jerky. You pound the berries into the meat. You also extract grease from the bone. You leave an offering, and you sing a song, and you say thank you to that plant. And then this medicine person will show you the ways to prepare the medicine for what's going on. And then after that, who's in charge? Piano between those.
This couple saw a bull moose.
We did. That's
Luckily,
the
three
highlight
of
of
them
the
to
trip.
start with.
Oh, yeah, right. We lost one on the way.
He was talking about how if you go to a medicine man, first thing you do is smoke the pipe and pray, and then he crushes up the specific herbs for you and gives it to you, and then he says it's up to you at that point to make the medicine work by tuning into your spiritual, mental, physical, emotional state, I guess. So I like that approach. I probably don't do it enough for my own health. He just let us know we're going to be doing a suspension bridge one at a time. I don't know how long it is, but it might take a little bit. I'm a little nervous. It's a little more, well, it's not very far off the ground, so if you fall off, I guess you just get wet. It's not much of a drop. Well, I did it, but it was a little, got pretty bouncy in the middle there. I lost my balance a little bit. I didn't think it would be safe for me to try to film at the same time. Yeah, I'm glad I'm hiking with a group. I'd be a little spooked doing this by myself. You know, forested hikes like this, visibility is not so great, and it seems like the odds of surprising a bear or a moose can go up dramatically because you can't really see them and they can't see you. So I'm really happy I'm with a group. It actually did say on the website for this boat tour, it said it's not advised for safety reasons to hike alone. So this is great because I wanted to do the guided tour, but they said it was sold out, so I got kind of lucky that it was available. So good thing. Wow, that is gorgeous. Oh my God, I suddenly feel like I'm in Yosemite. Wow. Jeez, I didn't expect it to be this beautiful. I keep getting pleasantly surprised everywhere I've gone on this trip so far. So the ranger was just talking about how the Blackfeet indigenous peoples would come here in the summertime and do vision quests. And I believe he said that dates back 8,000 years. Because, you know, the mountains give something to each of us individually, what it means to us, you know. I don't know if I said that very well, but he just says that the mountains do something to us, and they do to me. Every time I'm in the mountains, when I was a kid even, I always loved it, being in the mountains. Definitely did something to me.
I like to look across the tree to see it, but and when you see a tree with this much hair in it, you know it's a fir tree.
There's some bear fur or hair, he calls it. It's kind of blondish looking. I didn't expect it to be blondish looking. Another little kind of narrow bridge to traverse here. This one's easy. Feels really sturdy. The other one was a little scary because it was bouncing around, like I said, especially, of course, in the middle part section. So I was bouncing around a little bit, too, like I was on what do you call those bouncy things? Oh my God, I can't remember. Trampoline. Jeez. This is our payoff for that hike. This is two beautiful twin falls. So there's one on the right side and one on the left side. Pretty cool. The ranger was saying that the water was pretty good this year, even late in the season like this. We're at the end of August, and to have this much water still is pretty awesome.
How'd you like doing it?
Okay, I'm kind of doing a crazy thing. I was at the falls and I was looking at the time and I was getting worried because even though the ranger said that he would get us back to catch the boat back at 1:15, it was like 12:36 and it took us nearly almost an hour to get there. Of course, that's with stops and stuff. So I started to get nervous because it's going to be, if I don't catch the 1:15, then I got to catch the 3:15. So it's a 2-hour wait. That's just, I don't know why such a big gap. Guess lunch break or something. So I decided to start walking back by myself here in bear country. Kind of stupid. I have nothing on me. And so I'm just trying to sing, clap my hands, talk loud, play my audiobook. Actually, the ranger, they did start hiking. Eventually, I caught sight of them, so they're kind of, I don't know, not too far behind. So I just decided to chance it. I've been running into a lot of people, so it's a pretty, not a lot, but enough people to make it feel not so scary. So hopefully I'll get back safe. I don't think I have too much further to go. Okay, I think I can relax now. I'm almost back now. I felt like this trail is traveled enough by people that bears kind of know to steer clear of it. Yeah, so from where we stopped at Twin Falls, you could continue the hike, and some people did. They continued the hike for another mile to the lake. But I decided I didn't want to stay out for quite that long. I think there's some other falls to see. Eagle Falls, and it's a short 5-minute hike back to where I'm going, so I'm gonna check that out. And not sure what I'm going to do after that. I want to go to the camp store and maybe go do some grocery shopping. It's actually a good thing that I got back first, because there's a line to get back on the boat. So I don't think everybody in our group is going to get on. I don't know. It's kind of a smallish boat, actually. There's a lot of wind in this video footage, so I'm just going to do voiceover. But I am back on the other side. I did get the 115 boat back and was able to take in the gorgeous views here of these beautiful mountains. And that boat there, I learned, was built in 1926. Amazing. I think they have a few of them there. But I was just blown away by the beauty and the colors here of the green and the blue contrast. Just stunningly beautiful. Highly recommend going to Two Medicine Lake if you're ever in East Glacier National Park. A lot of wonderful hiking around that area as well. First I thought they were deer, but isn't that a ram? Keep on walking, buddy. I gotta go that way. He's just standing there. He's probably waiting for me to go by. So the coolest thing just happened. Okay, so I saw those wild goats, and the big one was standing there for a long time, and I'm like, well, is she guarding, or he guarding the two smaller ones, or what? So I started to move towards the goat, and then he or she started to move towards me. And so then I was a little scared that it might come running and ram me or something. It could probably really ram you pretty hard, you know, at a full gallop. And I was getting scared and a little bit nervous. So I picked up a large stick and put it up over my head, and then the goat stopped. And then I sort of made my way, like I made a big wide circle to give it lots of room. And then I realized, I don't know what that is, that what they wanted was to go down the path that I had just come from. So getting a little lost. I'm not sure where my rig is now. And so when I moved out of the way, then they just calmly, like, you know, got as far away as I could. Then they just calmly walked along the path. And so then this young woman comes up to me and she says, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay. I just was nervous it was going to come at me in a full gallop." And She says, I think that was a female, a mama and her 2 babies. And she would know because she was actually, she says, I'm Blackfeet Nation. And this is our domain. And so I said, that is so cool. She said, do you have any questions? And I says, well, how long has Blackfeet been here? And she says, thousands of years. And this was our land until we kind of signed it away, not knowing what we were actually signing away. But the good news is we're going to court on this, and we're going to try to regain, isn't this pretty, some of our lands. I'm going to have to Google that and take a look. She is so sweet. She's like, oh, you know, do you want to come back to my home? Do you have any questions? Do you want to meet my family? They're just down the road. And I mean, she was so welcoming. She says, where are you from? I says, I'm from California. And she said, welcome, welcome. And I thought, oh, what a nice thing to say, because I didn't know yet that she was Blackfeet. And she says, yeah, this is our land, you know. So no wonder she was welcoming me. So cool. And she says people are very nice. And that was a very cool experience. Yeah, the goats are back. They're like, there's more of them now. And I dropped my stick. I shouldn't have. They're right by my rig. I have to go this way to get to my rig. And it just keeps keeps coming this way. Oh, geez. Let me see if I go way back here. There's a van coming. Maybe that'll push them forward. Hey, pretty big. Actually, a pretty big goat. There's a little round rump. So cute. Hi there. So I want to explain the next clip. The young lady from Blackfeet Nation invited me again. I had declined the first time, but I ran into her again, and she invited me again to join them for a birthday celebration of a niece. And so I did go over for a little while, maybe stayed 20 minutes or something, and met her mom and her family, extended family members. And then this very cool thing happened where the grandfather gave a prayer before the meal.
So I'm going to say a prayer. I'm going to say his prayer, not black book language. Yeah. See, when they bless the food, your grandparents and your family that are gone to here, when you bless that food, they eat with it. Yep. And they eat with it. So that's our Indian way of life. But I'm going to say a prayer and okay, need to praise it. Tomato, I spoken it's a fight. Tomato, I will ask them with and not to happy. Are you tomato, there's smoking on, not free. Smoking on, I'm a test and with and I'm with. Ayo ke matuka na namska kwene ma. Ayo ke matuka kumukana kato so penanai ni te pai kapi. Ayo ke
So I am actually standing on Blackfeet Nation land, and yeah, she said that they have been in court for the last 30 years, fighting to get their land back, because they said that this is they call it the Rockies, and they said that there was a 100-year lease that the Indians gave the U.S. government, but the U.S. government said no, it wasn't a lease, so they're in court about it. Well, I just had an incredibly moving experience that I will never forget, I don't think. So I was saying earlier that I met that young woman who's a Blackfeet Nation member. I don't know how you put it, but I was walking to my RV and I saw her again, and she said, well, would you like to come over and meet my family? We're celebrating my niece's 1-year birthday. And I said, sure, you know. So I walked over there with her, and there was about 20 people there, and she introduced me to her mom. And so her mom and I got to talking for quite a while, and her mom's name was Melanie, and her daughter's name, the one I met initially and invited me, was Hillary. And so we talked for quite a while, and they invited me to stay and have a meal with them and hang out, but I declined just because I didn't want to intrude, and I also have some things to do. It's kind of getting late, but her grandfather did a prayer before the meal, and I filmed a little bit of it. I'm not sure if I'm going to show it or not, but tears started welling up in my eyes just to be there experiencing that. And I have such a deep reverence for Native Americans, and I don't know why, but they're just really special to me. So it was very moving to be there, and so I hung out for about 15-20 minutes, and then I left. But it was so sweet because the daughter walked me, partly to my rig. Her mom, Melanie, came over, and she was so sweet. She invited me to come back next July and be part of their Sundance, or at least, get to see the Sundance that they do for a few days in July, and I'm like, really? You're inviting me to come to that, She says, yeah, so I exchanged numbers with them, and I will stay in touch, Maybe I will do that. Come up here next July and see what a Sundance is all about. I mean, that would be a totally new experience for me, and I just would love to witness something like that. She said that the dancers, what did she say? The dancers fast for several days while they're doing their dance, and they dance from morning to night. Now, I'm sure they do it in shifts, though, because I can't imagine that. But I don't know, maybe they do. So she said that something about they do prayers and ceremonies and dance, and she says the Blackfeet Nation, we're very similar to the Sioux Indians, and she said just look it up on the internet what the Sundance is about, and you're welcome to join us for that. And that would be pretty cool. I would love to actually do that. And what else? She said that they get the dancers have this piercing of a bone or something in their chest, and then it gets broken during the dance, and obviously there's some meaning to that. But yeah, the mom had 5 children, but she's actually had 8 children. 5 are living, And she actually said that she lives nearby here alone. And then a lot of the family members have sort of all spread out. Her daughter lives all the way down in Bozeman, Montana. And the one that I was talking to, Hillary, she lives in Bozeman. And yeah, she's really, really sweet. I took a picture with her mom too, and I'll perhaps put up that picture on this video. I'm not sure if I will or not, but I'd sure love to share it with you all because it was really cool. They were so welcoming, and the daughter was just so sweet and kind, and welcoming, and they're really, really sweet, really kind, very welcoming. So I appreciated that. So what a great experience, man. It's like I'm getting to see all this beauty. Like today was just blew me away again. All this beauty, these mountains here are just astonishingly beautiful. And the trees and, these trails and the flora and the fauna. And then I get that on top of that experience. And then the wildlife. And it's just, this trip is just turning out to be an amazing trip in every way possible. So I'm very, very happy.